We will get started in about 5 minutes, so if you need to use the restroom or get a drink, we'll get started with the ceremony in 5 minutes. Okay, good evening everyone. We are ready to get started with our ceremony. Once again, thank you for being here. I do have some special people I want to thank to begin with. First, we have Rick from our custodial department. Thank you, Rick, for you want to wait everyone. Thank you for your help. We have JoJo, who's one of the cooks here at the high school, and she is the best cook ever. She is awesome. Thanks for helping us out, JoJo. Then we have Taylor from Student Council. We have Avery from our Student Council, Hannah from Student Council, Colson from Student Council, and Aiden from Student Council. And then we have Haley, who is from Yearbook, and she's our photographer. Thank you guys for all your help, and you can finish eating. They are an awesome group of kids, so we definitely appreciate them. A couple other special introductions I'd like to make. First off, we have the current 5C6 board member and former superintendent, Mr. Jim Shalou is here. So, Mr. Shalou, stand away. Thank you for being here. And we have our current superintendent, Dr. Paul Frigo. Dr. Frigo is here. Thank you for being here, sir. We also have two members of our induction class back in March. We have Mr. Dan Lord. David Stan, thanks for being here. And Mr. Art Casey. Mr. Art Casey, I can stand to. Thank you for being here, gentlemen. We appreciate it. This night could not be done. We could not do what we do without the great board that we have. So I would like to introduce the members of the board of the Alumni Association. We do have some that could make it. Anthony Hill, Brandon Schufeldt, and Todd Scott could not make it tonight, but we're going to thank them. So the first board member is Mike Price, class of 1980. Mike will come up here and stand. Mike, why don't you come up here? Mike is our social media guru. He He handles everything with Facebook. He has a alumni group on Facebook, a memorial page. He does a great job of getting the word out about what our purpose is and about this night. So thank you, Mike. We have Tim Miller, class of 1975. Tim, come up. Tim will be the actual MC tonight, the voice of the Warriors for 40 years. Then we have Alumni class of 1971. Alumni, come up. She was instrumental in helping get the programs for this evening. She did a great job of proofing all those, make sure those were up to our standards, so thank you, Mona. We have Judy West, class of 1971. Okay, I think we're good. Judy was instrumental in getting the food. She did all that for us, and I think it was a lovely dinner, so thank you, Judy. And then we have our executive board. We have Emily Warner, 2002 graduate and current English teacher at Fox High School. She's been here 20 years. Okay, there we go. Emily, like I said, 2002 graduate English teacher at Fox High School for the last 20 years, and she awarded all the plaques that our inductees will be receiving this evening. And one more executive board member, Mr. Brent Tinker. Mr. Tinker teaches weights for us. That's a test. Okay. He's been here 20 years, and he is our head football coach for the last 13 years. Coach Tinker and his weightlifting classes, they set up.
Okay, I need to find another mic. I think we have got that mic. We're prepared.
Okay, there we go. Hopefully this will work. Anyway, Coach Tinker's weight classes set up the gym yesterday. And believe it or not, it takes all day to set this up. We started about 7 o'clock, and we went to 2 o'clock, and actually we came in today a little bit and put the finishing touches on. So thank you, Coach Tinker, for doing that. And then like I said, I'm Joe Salzman, assistant principal for 16 years, and I am proud 1988 graduate of Fox High School, and I'm on the executive board also. So thank you guys for all your help. We appreciate it. Oh, I have your picture. We also want to thank our sponsors, Arnold Tourism Commission. Last March, they donated $2,500 to the Alumni Association, which was great. Cheap Seats Photography donated all these banners. Ron, the owner, is a proud 1988 Fox graduate. And then Pre-Sort Incorporated, that printed all our programs. Also another Fox graduate, Jeremy Fritz, and Todd Scott, which are as well a Fox graduate. Then in the back, we want to thank Justin, 2002 graduate, part owner of Weston Rogers. Thank you for dinner, Justin. It was awesome. So just a brief background on how we got to where we are. Our mission statement is continue warrior pride beyond our halls. And that's what our Alumni Association group is trying to do. We started this last December, so we haven't had a full calendar year yet, and yet we've had 2 induction ceremonies, and that just goes to the great people that are on the board. You know, years ago, there was some type of alumni association, and there wasn't. Some have come and gone, but I personally, and Coach Tinker and I have talked about this for years. We wanted to start back up. So we were able to start back up, but us two can't do it all by ourselves. We sent out nominations. We went to go on the board. We had 7 great board members that said they knew it. Couldn't be happy with our board. The amount of work we do and they do for this is unbelievable. So I just want to thank them again. And then we have 3 executive board members, myself, Emily, and Brennan. Executive board members have to be current employee at Fox High School. So that's kind of that and how we got where we are. So then we started taking nominations. Back in the one March, we probably had 30 nominations for staff and alumni. This one we had over 50 nominations. So we're just getting out what we are doing. So then we meet and try to decipher through these 50 nominations. Trust me, it was a long process. But I think the board thinks we have another great group going in this time. It is just unbelievable. 6 people we have going in. And I don't want to take their thunder from them, but you're going to hear their stories. We can be proud of the 6 we're inducting tonight. And trust me, the process is not easy. It's not easy to go through 50 people. And a lot of people will come up to us and I would say, why wouldn't I nominate so-and-so? Well, unfortunately, the 10 of us don't know every staff member that's every year. And obviously, they don't know every graduate. So that's why there's a form they have to fill out to give us some background information. So that's how we got to where the 6 we have this evening. So once we are finished, we will have 6 staff and 6 alumni in our Hall of Fame. And we are going to continue to do this. We'll have another one at the end of September next year. We already set the date for homecoming. We're trying to do the Saturday before homecoming. So we will have the next one end of September. So a couple other things I just want to go over. I know you guys have this in your pamphlet, but just the timeline. You know, it's just amazing when I think of this. 1955, Fox opened with freshmen only. 1959 was our first graduating class. 1964, enrollment passed 1,000 students. 1964, second and third reconstruction was completed, which hopefully a lot of you got to go on the tour and see second and third wing. 1966, Fox football team was undefeated. Still the only undefeated team we've ever had. 1968, gym reconstruction was completed. Obviously, the gym is still standing. This is where we currently are. Hopefully, it looks a little bit better than when some of you graduated from here. 1970, first wing construction was completed. 1972, construction of our temporary art building was completed. And yes, that is still standing today. So temporary has lasted over 50 years. But I do have good news to share on that in a little bit. 1973, Fox Baseball wins our first team state championship. And actually last April we honored that team. It was a 50-year reunion. I think 11 of the 14 players showed up. We gave them state championship rings. They never received that. So it was nice to see a lot of those players from 1973. 1975, baseball team wins their second state championship. And to this day, those are only 2 state championships in sports that we have. 1997, Fox was in the 2 high schools, added second high school. Freshmen are added back to the high school. Before then, it was the sophomores and seniors for a while, that's when freshmen were added back. 2003, Front Hall addition opens. 2004, Commons, weight room, and our second gym were completed. Hopefully all of you get to see that. 2012, turf was installed on our stadium field and the infield of our baseball softball field. 2018, the FOX letters were put back on the hillside of the stadium field. Those have been there forever. They were torn down when we did the new construction. We were able to have a student do their Eagle Scout project, put FOX back on there. 2020, the Victory Bell was installed at the stadium. So we have Victory Bell outside now. So after football team, softball team, soccer team, baseball, and the outside event, after we win a game, all the boys or girls run over and ring the bell. And then this past year, 2023, Fox Commons won the national championship in 2 different categories, which was quite a feat. And then, moving forward, next year, hopefully all of us start striving in, our new additions going to open sometime between February and March. It's going to house science rooms, art rooms, and fast rooms. So we're looking forward to that. So that's kind of history of Fox in a nutshell, and kind of where we are today, and what we're doing moving forward. So at this time, we all know, in order to be inducted, it took a lot of people to help you, whether it was a colleague, a staff member, or a teacher. Any current or former staff member from Fox High School, would you please stand up? I just want to see how many we have in the audience. If you were a former staff member or current, please stand. Thank you so much for all your help and dedication to Fox High School. again, I do this last ceremony, kind of want to do it again just to see by the decades who we have here. So I'm not sure we have many students graduating in the 2020s. I don't think we do. 2010s. Anyone from 2010s? If so, please stand up. No? What about the 2000s? 2000s? 1990s? Please stand. 1990s. 1980s. Awesome. 1970s? Yes, 1970s. I know we have some from the 1960s if they would stand. And then I know we have at least one person from our first graduating class in 1959. This gentleman made it to our induction ceremony in March, and it's here again. Mr. Alan Flamer, please stand. Thank you, Alan. First graduating class, thank you for being here, sir. So, talking about Fox graduates. Class of 1959 had 58 graduates, which was our smallest class. 1980, we had our largest class of graduates at 694. In 1985, we eclipsed the 10,000 mark for graduates. In 2006, we surpassed the 20,000 mark. And then with last year's class of 2023, we surpassed 27,000 graduates who walked these hallways, which I think is just unbelievable. We've had 27,000 graduates. So if you were one of the alumni getting inducted, you're going to stick to the word 27,000. I think it's quite a feat, to be honest. It's incredible when we think of this. 6 of 27,000 after tonight. If you're a staff member, you know you're going to be in 6 of probably, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 staff members. So what a great accomplishment. So once again, on behalf of the Fox High School Alumni Association, thank you for coming tonight. And I will turn it over to Mr. Miller, MC for the evening.
Well, I'm here to answer the age-old questions. What does Santa Claus look like in a dress? That'll be my job in about a month or so. And we want to welcome you to the gym. How does the gym look? It's pretty cool, huh? You haven't been back in a while. I do want to kind of draw your attention to the stage over there. A lot of things happen on that stage and in front of the stage. In a good way. Mostly what I remember were all the musicals that were here. And ironically, we did the music band here a number of years ago. And the quartet that sang in that play are all here or represented tonight. In that quartet was Mr. Bob Renicky, Mr. Marty Johnson, Mr. David Butler, and Mr. Richard Simpson. So how cool is that? And to add to that story, they redid that play while I was a teacher here and asked me to be in the quartet, which I gladly did. My daughter was in the play as well. So that was really cool that I was able to kind of, in their memory, kind of pay it forward a little bit. All right, our first inductee, you spelled his name wrong, by the way. So just so you know, we need to put a marker with a C before the K. Oops. It's all spelled right in the program. Of course, the thing we're going to put on the back of your car is all spelled. Our first alumni inductee tonight is Dr. Luke Renicky, the class of 1966. After Dr. Luke Renicky graduated from Fox High School, he attended the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. He earned a B.S. in engineering and was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the regular Army. He served during the height of the Cold War and later earned his doctorate of veterinary medicine degree and research hazardous pathogens at USAMWID focusing on vaccine development. Post-active duty, he led Pathology Associates Incorporated, a renowned pathology consulting firm, and authored over 50 scientific articles, primarily on cardiovascular medical devices, before retiring in 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, our first inductee tonight, Dr. Luke Renke.
I was born. I do have a few notes. I don't want to forget anything. I'd like to thank Dr. Salzman, the entire committee for selecting me for this wonderful honor. I'm truly humbled and honored to be here with the other inductees. And I'm honored to have so many of my family and friends here at this table. Bill Brown, who was a classmate friend of mine who inexplicably nominated me. His bride, Gloria. Another classmate of mine, Dennis Corey. His bride, Penny, was also an alumnus. My two nephews, Adam and Michael, were both alumni. And Lauren and Jillian, my grandnieces. And then my much older brother, wow, who is the alumnus, class of 1965. I knew two of the faculty inductees tonight. Richard Simpson was not only my high school principal, he was my junior high principal. But more importantly than that, he was a very good friend of mine. Okay. We sang together in a number of different singing groups to include a church choir and the Cosmopolitan Singers of St. Louis for a number of years. So I knew Richard very well. I also know David Butler. David was my band director during the last couple of years. I was in the band. I often wondered if he felt something hanging over him because the two previous band directors had died rather unexpectedly. So apparently that omen didn't come true, and he was here for many years. Congratulations to you. When Joe Johnson first called me, I thought it was a scam. He said, "Can you be here on the 14th of October?" And I said, "Okay, I'll call you back tomorrow." And I was waiting for that infamous Nigerian prince to come online and say, "Oh, I've got $1 billion for you. Just give me your credit card number." However, I did call back the next day, and Joe assured me that this was legit, and I'm truly honored. Having left Fox and Arnold about a month after I graduated in 1966, I never returned. First 9 years, I lived anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 miles away. And unfortunately, especially tonight after I see them again, I did not keep in touch with any of my classmates. Of course, that was the day before the cell phones and the internet and everything, but as I learned during my first couple of weeks at West Point, no excuse, sir. I was particularly surprised when I heard that Bill had nominated me because the last we had spoken was over 20 years ago. Bill and Gloria had stopped by our house when we were living in Maryland. So thank you again, Bill. I pretty much forgot about Fox High School until earlier this year. I began writing an anthology of stories about my lifetime. Now, these stories were actually based on questions from my two daughters. I just recently put a wrap on that, getting ready to publish it, two of the stories involved questions about my time in high school. One of them was, who was your favorite teacher in high school and why? Well, I had to give this a great deal of thought because all of my teachers affected me in many positive ways. I finally came up with a guy which probably very few of you here know anything about. He was my junior language arts teacher. His name was Roy Thomas. Roy was only here a couple of years, and while he was here, actually, if you look around, walk around the hallways, he looks like he could have been a classmate of mine. He was really that young. Roy didn't particularly enjoy teaching. I will tell you that now, having known him, I'll get back to that. But he was an excellent teacher. He was very dedicated, and he expected a lot of his students. His particular class was in writing, creative writing. Regardless of whether for our assignments we were writing something rhetorical or scientific perhaps, or just creative poetry or anything else, he was very demanding, and his positive criticism went a long way. That criticism led me to continuously improve my writing skills throughout my entire life, my entire career. Writing is so important. It's meant a lot to me just to think of what Roy inspired in me. So it was Roy, when he left Fox High School, and he was only here a couple of years, Roy went to his real love. And you may not believe this, but when he was here, even before he was here, and certainly since he's left, his real love was comic books. Roy had his own comic book series that he published even before he got to Fox. It was called Alter Ego. And when he left Fox after a couple of years, he was hired by the legendary Stan Lee of Marvel comic books to be assistant editor. Well, fast forward a few years, I was down in Florida a few years ago with my oldest grandson, Zachary, and we went to a Comic-Con. My grandson collects comic books, and we went to this comic book convention, and then lo and behold, there was a guy that collected Marvel comic books. So I went up to him and just on the bar, I said, you probably don't know, but have you ever heard of Roy Thomas? Well, he looked at me absolutely incredulous at my naivete. He said, Roy Thomas is probably the most important producer, editor, and writer of comic books in our lifetime, if not ever. So, wow, I was really taken aback. So when I started writing this story, who's my favorite teacher, I Googled Roy just to see what he's doing now. Sure enough, if you want to take a few minutes to Google Roy Thomas, he really is Mr. Comic Book. And I actually got a hold of him. I emailed him. And we have been corresponding ever since. Wonderful guy. He, by the way, David Butler, and he said to shout out hey to you and remind you of something that you guys were going to do back in 63, I believe. He said, you guys had worked years ago, the PTA used to have a carnival in the fall to raise money. First, it started off as a carnival to raise money for the band uniforms, and later became just a PTA carnival. And Roy said that he and David had come up with a little routine based on the song "Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better," and he was it was based on Khrushchev and Kennedy. And one would say, I can fly whistles better than you. The other would say, no, you can, yes, I can. Well, they were going to present this at the carnival on November the 23rd, 1963. You may remember what happened on November the 22nd. Kennedy was assassinated. So that little skit went down in flames. But I just want to say about this story about Roy. He was a guy that he was not a teacher. Really, well, he was a teacher by profession, but really not a teacher at heart. Although he wanted to present things to students that he really believed in. And I guess for any teacher, if you can really inspire one or two people and have that inspiration go throughout their lifetime, then you know that you're a success. So I want to thank Fox High School for having hired Roy back in 1963. He's around and I talk to him regularly, and I'll tell him about tonight. But it's been a wonderful thing to come back here this evening. I just want to say one thing before I quit here. When I first got here in the Arnold area, where we are sitting right now, I can remember driving by on 61, 67 with my parents and seeing Mr. Fox out here plowing and cultivating his field right here with his mule team. So kids don't think I'm old. It wasn't that long ago. So it's wonderful to be back. Thank you again, Fox, and congratulations to the other inductees.
Good job. All right, it's time to move on to the fairer sex. And our second alumni, will be Tammy Hawkins, class of 1999. Here is her story. Come on, kid. With over 20 years of experience in security and fraud solutions, including roles at RGA, MasterCard, and Activision Blizzard, Tammy Hawkins is a leading global executive currently serving as Vice President of Cybersecurity and Fraud Prevention at Interim. Holding an MBA from the University of Missouri St. Louis and 3 technology patents, Tammy integrates security into every aspect of product development and Intuit, safeguarding countless small businesses globally. Besides her technical expertise, she fervently champions diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as the mentorship of upcoming professionals in her field worldwide. Ms. Tammy Hawkins. You have 11 minutes.
Not a second more. First of all, what a great event and set of speeches already to begin with. I feel honored to be here. I now know that I can potentially hire Luke Ronicky to help me with my fraud detection and security, given that he thought he was being frauded to begin with. Instant respect. I wanted to open with, you never know when you may change someone's life. I was nominated for this award by Cindy Bellinger, who's here tonight. She was my advanced placement English teacher and the teacher for yearbook and newspaper at Fox when I went here back in the late 90s. A vivid memory of my Fox High School experience was Cindy would constantly be able to look out for discounted Macintosh computers for her students. If she could find a cheap Macintosh anywhere, she would get it. And I remember the first week that I was in her class, all I could do while she was talking about English literature was stare at all of the cool computers around me. I had never touched really a computer before, and I really wanted to get my hands on those computers. So I asked Cindy, how do I do that? How do I get to use all those cool computers around your room? And she said, well, you have to join newspaper yearbook. I said, absolutely, sign me up for both. I'll do anything. I really want to use these computers. And so I did. I signed up for a yearbook newspaper, and I used those computers, and I fell in love. In '99, I was editor of the yearbook, and Cindy and I decided to produce the yearbook fully digital that year using her fancy Macintosh computers that she had gotten at garage sales, very scrappily over the years. Previously you would create yearbooks by cropping pictures with these like wax pencils and these square utensils to determine like where you wanted other people to create your book from these images and different articles you would crop on paper. We did it all on computers, which was really revolutionary at that time. I fell in love with the computer's current capabilities and their future potential. As I was heading toward high school graduation in 1999, I was a little lost. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to be, if I wanted to go to college, what I wanted to do, and I knew I couldn't pay for it. I didn't have the money for it. So when I expressed I wasn't really sure what to do, I had friends as well as Cindy say, well, why don't you just apply for Jefferson College, right? It's a community college that's pretty nearby. You can start taking some courses and figure out what to do. And then I said, well, I don't have money. Like, I had no idea how to pay for it. She said, it's okay. We can help you apply for a couple of scholarships. In fact, I have one that's coming out for journalism. Why don't you apply for that one? Right? There was no excuse for Cindy. If you could do anything you put your mind to, and she inspired me in that way. So I did. I applied for the scholarship and I got it. She helped me figure out how to apply for different college loans and FAFSA through the government. As I was graduating, she gave me a book just before graduation that had a bunch of different inspirational women in it. And she had written a quote in the very front saying, you, Tammy, you will become an inspirational woman like those in the book. That meant so much to me that a teacher saw me out of the thousands of people that she had come through her classroom, and she saw something in me so much that she gave me this book with a handwritten quote within it. I still have that book. I have moved countless times around the world. I've moved from St. Louis to Dublin, Ireland, to multiple cities in California. That book has gone with me everywhere around the world because she believed in me. And because she believed in me, I've been able to accomplish many of the things that you've heard. I believe when our elevator rises up in life, we need to send it back down and bring others up with us. We need to inspire and help the next generation of amazing humans that will take this beautiful world forward for us. Thank you for doing that for me, Cindy. Because people like you believed and invested in me, I have helped save thousands of humans around the world from cybersecurity and fraud events. Events that can destroy businesses and lives. I had the opportunity to step in and help people and hopefully help them avoid ever being in those situations to begin with. That's due to my passionate hard work and because people motivated me to go to college and to do more and to be that inspiring woman in the room. And often I'm the only woman in the room, even these days. And I remember that inspirational book. And I remember that my elevator has risen now, and I need to send it back down and bring others up with me. I want to thank you all very much for this award. I don't know that I deserve it, but I certainly appreciate it, and I will share it with others because hopefully I can be the inspiration for that next young lady to do something amazing. I want to say a huge thank you to my friends, my family, my previous teachers for taking time out to come here, but most importantly, in believing in me over so many years. Life is a marathon. It is not a sprint. There are a lot of very, very hard years, and I am so thankful for every single one of you that have stood next to me throughout them. And I always leave every audience with some kind of ask, very selfish like that. I'd like to ask everyone in this room to please consider how you will lift up a current student, a coworker, friend, or family in the future. Can you nominate them for an award? Can you just ask them how they're doing? Can you donate to their favorite charity? Try to lift their spirit? Give them some gentle advice. We all have small opportunities every single day to make sure that someone has an opportunity to deliver their life's best work in this world. Let's all seize them. Thank you very much for your time.
On to our first staff member. This is a personal one for me. A lot of us, speaking of security, where'd you go? What's the first security question most people are asked? Who's your favorite teacher? Right? Marty Johnson is my answer every time. This man did a lot for a lot of people, more than just teaching. And going back to the barbershop quartet, this guy also sported a handlebar mustache back in the day. So that was cool. I just remember being in many of his choirs. The men's choir, I was able to succeed Aaron Andian as the president of that my senior year. I was in the concert choir. His wife was in that choir with me. And we got to go on some great trips. And I just remember at the end of school, it's the silly thing, you have everybody sign this little thing, right? So I had a card, giant card, and I'll always remember what he wrote. It was short and sweet. And Mr. Johnson, to a kid, he was 18, he wrote to a leader and then signed it. That was motivation for me. Here's the rest of the story. Martin Johnson was a Fox High School's dedicated choir director from 1967 to 1984. He masterfully conducted 7 different vocal ensembles, such as Senior Girls Glee Club and Concert Choir and Men's Choir. With that, and achieved distinguished recognition at the state and national conventions. Under Mr. Johnson's leadership, Fox Senior High School choirs earned an impressive 46 1 ratings and 8 2 ratings in evaluated music contests. Johnson's commitment to unity and excellence is captured in his motto. This was also the choir that he came back and directed after retiring. We are one always. Most of you know I was the PA director, PA announcer at this school for 40 years. The man that had that job in the booth just before I took over was our next inductee, Marty Johnson.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, folks. By the way, I've been timing these other speakers. I have 2 extra minutes. Wow. One another. To be remembered after 39 years. Now, I understand Hitler was remembered for 39 years. And some other fine people, John Pilger. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I truly appreciate being remembered. And I truly appreciate these fine words that you brought to me in this honor. But you have to understand, it was not me. I was surrounded by great people, great leaders, that gave me the opportunity. My vision statement, which vision statements are really popular now, mine is kind of, it talks to me, growing, by helping people grow, by helping people. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I've spent my teaching career showing people what to do to help the people around them, in this case, sing better. The funny thing is, they not only learn how to sing better, but they also learn how to help other people, whether they like it or not. And the funny thing is, the more they helped, the more they liked. I came to Fox, my life has been blessed with great opportunities. I'm not really smart. I just can't say no. So the Lord says, do this, I do that most of the time. Sometimes I say, really? But most of the time, and I've been blessed. And my time at Fox was a big time blessing. Fox hadn't been around that long. And I wasn't looking for a job. I just happened to be up for reasons that I don't need to get into, being up at elementary school where Mr. Ritten's office was. And I had some time to chit chat, so he said, "Come on, sit down." And I was teaching at Festus at the time. We'd been successful, and I thought I was pretty hot stuff. I wasn't looking for a job. None of you have gone through that hot stuff that you think. One laughter in front, an honest man, thank you. Thank you. And he said, "I want to talk to you about an opening. We're going to have our choral music program." I said, "Oh, I'm happy where I am." You know, just as another way. I'm happy where I am. So he said, "What needs to be talking about?" He started showing me, you can have this many students to work for. We got this many hours a day that you can teach choral music. And to do the more talk is what I thought that was pretty cool. I was on fertile ground. The Bible talks about planting seeds on fertile ground. Let me tell you, I got planted on fertile ground, and I'll be forever thankful for those blessings. Because I took the job, I did what I thought I should do. I was supported when I really needed support, which is most of the time, by the way. I can go off on tangents. I took, did my thing, worked with students. And by the way, the students, thank the students, because they did the stuff I just screamed and yelled. Lay on the floor and kick. I thought that's a good technique. You lay on the floor and kick. Help you out and pat you off and do what you asked them for. But anyhow, and I did what I knew I should do to help people learn what I knew they should learn to really enhance their lives. And it was a joy to do it. Every time I drive by this place, which is always several times a week, if not many times a week, it brings back memories. Now, we had some hiccups. We had some tough moments. But I don't remember. I remember the good times, the fine times it was to work here, and the great things that we accomplished as a group, not as me. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Okay, Dr. Chip Rickman and Dr. George, what was his name? That's it. Dr. Duffy, and Rich Simpson. And on and on. Jerry O'Connor, Ron Sauer, and Jim Howe. That's why we were what we were, and Fox is what we were. So I would gladly accept the thank yous, but understand without them, I wouldn't be up here. I've been blessed. God has led me, but He led me here for a specific reason. And sometimes I'll hear from a student, I'll write a note back. A lot of times I put up a note, thanks for the memories. So let me say that to you. Thanks, Tiffany, please.
All right, back to alumni. Another doctor now. Our next inductee is Dr. Michael Roberts, class of 1971. Graduated. Woo, got some 71s. Graduated from Central Methodist College with a bachelor's degree in music education, from Washington University with a Master of Arts in Education and a doctorate in education. Earned a principal certificate from Harvard University. 1983 director for the Artist in Education program. 1989 headship for Topeka Collegiate School. Former board president of Kansas City Independent Schools Association. Multiple board and committee positions in education and the arts. And the 2005 head of school at the Catherine Cook School. He told me tonight he's retired. I can see one. Dr. Michael Roberts.
What a great event. I want to say thank you to a lot of people. First, thanks to the Fox High School Hall of Fame Board and the Alumni Association. I'm delighted and really deeply honored to be included with such a talented group. I would also like to thank my sister, Pat Levitt, for always supporting me and taking over the role as my major cheerleader when we lost our mother in 1988. I want to acknowledge my nephew, Sean, and my friend, Debbie Brown. Thank you for coming to support me. As a career educator, I believe that I have a unique perspective about teaching, learning, and the amazing positive difference that we make for the students we serve. I could reminisce about being the first Fox Middle School male cheerleader, or my roles in the musical of Oklahoma or South Pacific. But I want to talk and focus tonight on 5 teachers who made such a positive difference in my life during and since my 12 years here at Fox School. I believe that teachers make everything else possible. And as a long-term school administrator, I always thought there are lots of ways of thanking teachers. But the best way to thank them is to pay them a competitive wage and good benefits. And that has always held me in good stead with my staff. Now, Mr. Salzman encouraged us to limit our time to less than 45 minutes, but brevity really has never been my strong suit. But I'll give it my best shot. I apologize in advance for reading parts of my talk, as my memory is not quite as sharp as it used to be. I'll start tonight with a fellow inductee, Mr. Johnson, high school choral music. Mr. Johnson taught me that being part of a successful team requires discipline. No choir of soloists are allowed. I would say that competing and touring in concert choir was a highlight of my high school experience. Mr. Johnson was my respected mentor, who always strived for excellence and usually got it from us. He has a good sense of humor and often used it to make class fun and enjoyable. I can remember when he would tell us to go get a paper from the office or something, and just as the person was opening the door out into the hall, he would shout, "And stay out!" And all the kids in the hall would look at the person coming out and, "What did she do? What did she do?" It was great fun. He inspired me to seek an education, ultimately a profession in music education. In later years, I would remember and use many of his techniques in my own classrooms. When my own choir earned first place in state competition, I shared with my choir that I dedicated that success to Mr. Johnson. I wanted to be just exactly like him, but never quite got there. Mr. Johnson made me feel empowered, accomplished, and capable as a musician. Next up is Miss Gant, Sylvia Gant. Miss Gant did not play. She was serious about her subject matter and taught us with purpose and ultimately were along the way. With her short stature and her fire red hair, she was a force of nature and a champion of justice. She had a unique way of encouraging high school students to engage in meaningful conversation that was always lively and always interesting. I learned from her that knowing history is an important part of citizenship. It puts current world events into perspective and creates a context that has many people who haven't learned it in school. Today we see proof of that on a daily basis. Miss Gant made me feel smart and introduced the world to my fellow students and to me. Next is Miss Keller, high school literature. Miss Keller introduced me to the thrills and skills of writing. She introduced the concept that a piece of writing is never finished and can always be improved upon, which at first annoyed me and caused me frustration, and later gave me freedom to express myself more fully. She gave me my real first introduction to poetry, which I fell in love with, in all its forms, from lyric to sonnet to free verse and even haiku. I learned about meter and voice from her, and thus began my love of words in the innumerable ways in which they can be more clearly used. Miss Keller made me feel inspired to write. Mr. Gilman, middle school English. I learned the power of story from Mr. Gilman. In class, which in my year was conducted in a trailer out on the playground, he was a master teacher and a master storyteller. He had a wicked sense of humor, as well as respect for his students and their opinions. When he read to our class of middle schoolers, we were totally captivated, hanging on every word, which is no small feat for a group of middle school students, even back then. I clearly remember reading Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter and Longfellow's Tale of Evangeline, and how I could not wait to get to class to hear what was going to happen next. After each read, we would discuss important things like fairness, morality, and what we might do if we found ourselves in similar situations. I later came to realize that we all live our lives in story. Our story, a combination of our culture, our families, our experiences, and our ability to construct new knowledge from what we learn along the way. Mr. Gilman made me feel grateful to be in his class. And last is Miss Lawrence, whom my sister was reading and said, no one is going to know who Miss Lawrence is. Miss Lawrence turned into Mrs. Simpson much later. I believe that I was in her very first class as a first grader, and my first class of school. From Miss Lawrence, I learned how powerful it is to feel really fully known, understood, and loved by a teacher. Really, those three things are what we all want for ourselves, and certainly what we want children. Being a quirky, precocious, inquisitive, and talkative child that not everyone immediately took a liking to, I always felt so safe with Miss Lawrence. She loved me, and she believed in me. When she told the class that too much talking would get you a seat right up by her desk, I was thrilled and took a seat. I noticed everything about her in class. She would always wear chest letters at once, and high heels and a string of pearls. I would sometimes come to the classroom early at the end of recess just to chat around a bit. My classmates thought I had gotten in trouble, but that was okay with me. Before the other students would arrive, she would take a handbag out of her desk drawer. She'd take out the compact, look at her face, apply a little lipstick, and reach for a new bottle of Evening in Paris perfume. Wow. It resided on her desk, and she would held it behind her ears. I stared at her. I just stared at her, and she smiled at me. I was totally smitten. Miss Lawrence still lives in my heart and mind, 62 years after being in her class. That is what good teaching is all about. People will not always remember what you said or did, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And Miss Lawrence made me feel like a 6-year-old rock star. After the tour of them tonight and the ceremony, as I have been for 42 years, I'm reminded of a favorite saying I'd like to share with you. You never really leave a place you love. You take a part of it with you, and you leave a part of yourself behind. Thank you.
Well, let me talk first. Where was that from Mr. Casey last year? This young man behind me wrote the school spirit song. Did you know that? We're going to sing it right now. Let's go, Warriors, here we go. Well, you're younger. Beep, beep. To retreat, ba, ba, ba. Here we go. Amen. Amen. This guy wrote that. I thought you said you were choir. Sorry, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson would make us sing it every Friday at the end of the class. Every hour, sing it every time. Did you make him play it? Did you make him play it like every Friday or something? You did it. You did it. You did it at the morning though. And like I said before, for 40 years I was the public address announcer at that stadium outside. I just stopped that 2 years ago. And there's the game, and then there's the band. The halftime show. Sorry, Coach, where are you? Oh, he's gone. It's better than the game. And for a number of years, I was able to present Mr. Butler and his awesome bands year after year after year. So let's get to it. I have 2 more minutes. No, it's not your time. David Butler, a 1962 graduate of Southeast Missouri State University, served as the dedicated band director at Fox High School for 3 decades, from 1962 to 1992. Throughout his tenure, his guidance and mentorship resulted in Fox students achieving numerous prestigious all-district and all-state awards. This is really cool. In 1983, he spearheaded an initiative for the Fox High School band to perform in South Africa. Now, they came here first, right? Yeah, that was cool. Leaving a lasting legacy. Additionally, his 43 years of active involvement with the Arnold Community Band showcased his unwavering commitment to the community and the arts. I'm at the 10-minute mark, perfect timing. Mr. David Butler. Oh boy. Okay, that's a deal.
I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself if you don't know me. If you do, listen anyway. Bonnie and I graduated from SEMO in 96. We interviewed it here at Fox, and we both got positions. We got a first grade class, and I became the vocal teacher. Later, we were interviewed. Assistant Superintendent Mr. Miller, he had to take us to South County for supper. There was nothing in Arnold that was good enough. There was an opening for Bonnie. The band job had been filled the day before, and the vocal job was open. I had a dual major, vocal and instrumental, so I got the job. We signed for $4,500 a piece. We thought we were rich. Our first check, we bought a black and white TV. The first Saturday night, we watched 3 movies by switching back and forth. During my time at Fox, I taught vocal music, orchestra, concert band, marching band, jazz band, music theory, music harmony during the 30 years. At the time, music graduates either went to a small, usually Southeast Missouri school and started out. If they did good, they went from 1,000 in one town next to a 2,000 town school. And if they did good, they went to the next one. If they stopped doing good, they never got to go to a bigger school. I wanted to get with a school where I could grow with the school. And that's certainly what happened. And my wife and I never did a bit of it. In 1980, some of the former students came to me and said, Mr. Butler, we don't have any place to play anymore. Would you start a community band? I did, and we have 6 of them here with me tonight. Out of the 45 in the band, 19 are former members. When I retired, since I retired, there have been 4 graduates from Fox High School who have become band directors at Fox High School. Randy Hodge, Steve Arms, Matt Rice, and David Butler, no related. And they were all very successful. There were also 7 others who have become band directors at various times. The thing that I enjoyed, I think, as much as anything, is I've heard all the other teachers in other districts. We have had some of the best administrators to work under that any school could have, including Jim Whitman, Rich Simpson, Jerry O'Connor, Ron Sauer, and Jim Shrew. Jim was actually in one of my first choirs. Jim, you sang in there. I never heard you sing by yourself. Would you stand up and sing the Star Spangled Banner for us? But he has been with Fox forever. My band's had the opportunity to do a lot of playing, certainly here at home, football games, basketball games, and so forth. But we've also had many parades downtown St. Louis, in particular the Fireman's Rodeo Parade. We were at the Liberty Bowl, and we played along with other bands under the arch when President Reagan was in St. Louis. There was a group from all over the state of Missouri, a choir and a band that went to Europe, and I took students, my students with it, and we went to England, France, Switzerland, and it was just magnificent. But they think that you couldn't do that now. We were coming on the bus from the airport in town to the hotel. We drove by the underground entrance, and we said, there it is. Go put your suitcases away and go. You couldn't do that now. But they went all over. They went everywhere. Between Mr. Johnson and I, we had, I think, one of the best around. One of the reasons was my best players in the band were also vocalists. And his vocalists were also in the band. And at the time, I think they needed 17 credits so they could make band and choir and jazz band also for the day. It was just fabulous. Tonight here is with me my daughter from Jacksonville, Florida, and my granddaughter, Virginia. The rest of the family are at the bridal reception for my son's stepsister's daughter. So it's still going on. So I'll go over there afterwards. Many of you knew my wife. She was a gem. She taught for 30 years in the first grade. She was stuck in that position because the kids in the higher grades would have been taller than her. You know her. She died of cancer in 2012, and lost my son, Scott, from cancer in 2016. Bonnie got hold of me, got mad at me only one time in our life. Now, you're not going to believe this. Never. And all the times I had to be at school at night, after school, and so forth. I was working with my neighbor one summer and putting hot insulation on top of buildings. And we worked all over the place. So one weekend, Friday night, he comes, it says, "Hey, let's go fishing." So he had a mobile home, he had a boat, we pulled it, and we got there. Oh, I'd say late Sunday night. Well, the next morning, and all week, she hardly talked to me unless I asked her a question first. Finally, Friday, I said, "I know I'm in trouble. I'm in the doghouse. What did I do?" You know what the story? So she said, "Go in there on your chest." I went up there, pulled down, there was an envelope, an anniversary card. I had missed our anniversary to bring me sweet at going fishing. You can better believe I never missed another one. I appreciate it, folks. Now that I know who the committee is, the treasure check in there. Okay? Thank you very much, folks.
All right. Down to our And this young man as well was a big part of my life. I went to church, or they went to church, so he knew me all my life. We get to the school, he's my high school principal. My senior year was his senior year as the principal. And then he goes into the administration. I come back and start teaching, and I'm a communications guy, so my goal was to start a radio and television program along with the speech and communication classes. He was so instrumental in this area to go where he could to find the money to buy equipment. So he found a hole somewhere in the whole charter cable agreement and made them live up to some kind of agreement that they had to give monies to every school in the district that they had cable going to. And Jefferson College too. So Jeffco can thank him for their program that they've got going. I thank him for the program that I was able to teach for 30 years. And so many of those have actually gone on in the field. So, and speaking of his wife, she was my Sunday school teacher. So, Miss Lawrence, whatever, of course, Mrs. Simpson to me. So, yeah, I miss both of them. We all do. And let's read about him, and then one of his daughters will come up. Richard began his impactful journey with the Fox C6 School District by teaching math and science to the first freshman class at Fox in 1955. His dedication saw him rise to the ranks, becoming principal at both Fox Junior High, which we heard about tonight, and Fox High School, and eventually serving as an interim superintendent. He championed the arts by advocating for the creation of the Brickman Auditorium and was honored with a school named after him, Richard A. Simpson Elementary. Recognized for his contributions, he received the Masterpiece Award in 2017, encapsulating his enduring dedication to the district and community. And speaking for Rich tonight is his daughter, Ruth Ann. They're all coming up, Leanne and Rich too.
Hi, I'm Ruth Ann Washa now, also a 1985 Fox graduate, which my dad was thrilled about. Probably also thrilled that I graduated. I wasn't quite as academic as my siblings. I started off, I folded 2 Kleenex for myself, and then since then I have grabbed more napkins because I keep getting emotional when everybody's speaking. Truly. Wow. What an incredible night. So, I do have a speech prepared. And since I have tears, I'm going to put glasses on because my eyes are blurry for all this. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for giving our dad, Richard Simpson, this honor of inducting him into the Fox High School Hall of Fame. I am a crier, sorry. That's the only thing. I can speak through all this, but if I have tears, it's a struggle. If he were still with us today, I know he would be very humbled, overwhelmed to tears, so proud, honored, and thankful. So thank you to the Fox High School Alumni Association and to those who nominated him and everyone that was involved made this happen. It truly is a very special honor. Thank you. I do have some humor in here. Probably most everyone here knows some of the history about our dad at Fox High School. I wouldn't be able to speak about everything our dad did in the years he was at Fox High School, nor would you want to hear it all. This dad didn't know from my paper, but I have had a week, several weeks of reminiscing, and Fox is like a second home for our family. So, anyway, my statement after all the things that my dad has done here, obviously with many people surrounding him. But this is what I was going to say. I'm sure you heard plenty from him back in the day. First, I will give you a brief timeline of when he was in Fox High School for his career, and then I will give 3 childhood memories for us that stood out during that time. Our dad truly loved and was fully devoted to Fox High School and to the Fox V6 School District. If the doors were open, our dad was there. And if the doors were closed, a lot of times our dad was still there. Our dad began teaching math and science to the first freshman class when Fox High School began in 1955. For 5 years, he sponsored the yearbook, including the photography for it, the pep club, the cheerleaders, the senior class, and he began and organized the Fox Teen Town, which was a recreational outlet for teens in Arnold. And he organized trips to Chicago, community outdoor picnics, etc. In 1960, he became the principal at Fox Junior High School. He met my mom, Wanda, who was teaching at Fox Elementary, and married her in 1961. I have to throw this in too because Jackie Howe mentioned it to me. She said to my dad, I want to get married after Christmas. My dad thought, okay. He didn't know she meant December 26th. And that's when they got married. So even he met his wife on the Fox campus. His 5 years at Fox Junior High led him to the opportunity to become Fox High School's principal in 1965, and he served in this role for 10 years until 1975. He had an amazing staff that he was blessed with during his time at Fox High School. During this 20-year period of his career and beyond that, our dad, along with many others, participated and watched the Fox High School campus continue to be built and to grow into what it is today. And now it's a very active and beautiful high school campus. And wow, that was an amazing tour today too, seeing all of the new things. My dad would be thrilled. Our dad was so proud of Fox High School. Since this is where his career began, it truly was his first love. Our dad would always ask the simplest question of where did you go to high school? And if they didn't answer Fox, he would say, I'm so sorry. Because they weren't a Fox graduate. It really meant a lot to him. Now I'll share 3 of our childhood memories. The first memory is Friday night football games at Fox. We hardly ever missed this. My dad never missed. He was in the press box always, filming the games, even after retirement. I'm sure as principal, he was doing other responsibilities during that 10 years, but we were definitely at the games. We would then go out to eat with the crew after the game. The crew then, at that time, was the O'Connors, Sowers, Howells, and Butlers. We had wonderful times together, even if we went to a lot of that. And as the years went on, that group picked up a few extra people, and they always had amazing time and fun times together. So with that, it gave us a love for friendships and a love for football, even to this day. The second memory is about the hand-carved wooden Fox Warrior that stood in the Fox gym lobby, and still does. I was really glad to see it. Most may not know this, but that stood home in the lobby at Fox High School. My dad was so proud of that. And for us, when we were little, we thought that thing was ginormous. Especially standing in our dining room for a while. So my dad was so proud of that, as he should be. It was an amazing work of craftsmanship, and if the person had made 2 of those, I think we would have still had one of those standing in our dining room for forever. Our dad always strived to make Fox High School be the best it could be, and to be the best in the state of Missouri. The last memory I'm going to share has to do with prom. And believe you me, I have so many stories, but I have 10 minutes or less. My family was like, less is best. Our parents hardly ever missed a prom at Fox High School. Every spring, they would get dressed up and go to prom. We have all their prom pictures through the years. There is one prom picture I'll never forget. When I was a junior at Fox High and my sister was a sophomore, we went to prom. My brother had already graduated, but was dating a girl still at Fox, and he came to prom that year too. So, as it goes, our entire family was at Fox High prom that year. Our dad wanted to get a family portrait done at the Fox High School prom. We didn't think he was serious, but he was. We actually had a family picture done at the Fox High School prom, and my dad was so proud of that. My sister was humiliated because we also did a family picture with our dates in it too. And we've never forgotten that. We still have the pictures too. There are so many great people that our dad loved and adored through his years at Fox High School. I can never name all of them. It would be impossible. Somebody had so much impact on him. All of those dear friends were like family to our dad and mom. I wish they both could have been here for this moment, because it would have been the cherry on top for them, for the love they both had for Fox High School and the Fox School District. Our dad served this wonderful Fox School District for 62 years until his death. He wanted to be here all the time, even when he wasn't feeling good at the end. And his 15 years at Fox High School were some of the best times in his career and life. Thank you from the bottoms of our hearts for honoring him this way. We are very grateful, and it means so much. Congratulations to all the honorees this evening. All very well deserved, and I say that as I'm listening to you. I cried on every one of them that spoke. This is one of them. Sorry. And to Mr. Butler, you were the best band director ever. All 3 of us, my brother, my sister, myself, and I'll add my husband too, have cherished all the wonderful band memories from our time at Fox. So thank you, Mr. Butler, and congratulations too. Also, my sister and my mom and I went on a South Africa trip. It was amazing. I've always told my husband, you should have gone. Thank you again, Fox High School Alumni Association, and all the very dear Fox family, for your love and support to our dad, Richard Simpson. It means so much to us. Thank you again. I will say Mr. Miller taught me how to speak. I hope you're taking this.
I had a lot of people in this room in the speech class, so. Couple. Right? So a couple of things. There will be an unveiling in a few moments. Also, next year, for the that class, those nominations, we're going to that fairly soon. Thank goodness, because as a board, we have more time to put this one respectfully together. So it's been great tonight. I'd like you to please stand for the nominees and the inductees now. If you would, at this time, please stand for those sheets. Let's hear it. Thank you. Those of us that are Fox people, aren't you much bigger tonight? Oh my goodness. I'm so happy that I was a part of this family and glad to be a part of it tonight. And to the board, we did good. You know, second year in a row, we're getting it out of the park again. That's good job. What's left is the unveiling of the plaques that will be here forever. So in the trophy area, there's a black cloth that's going to be unveiled in just a moment. And if you're an inductee, please stick around and I get your picture in front of your plaque. And then you kind of photo ops that the family would like as well. But at this time, that's all that's left, right? What? Oh, and yeah, take these banners home and change the spelling real quick on that. Yeah, you do get the banners, that's part of it. And so we'll probably start taking those down for them, right, real quick. And then if you could join the board and your families to go right outside this door and right to the left for the unveiling. So don't take too long to get out there, please. And congratulations to all.
Yeah. I never went to Valley High. No, I never went to Valley High. We always went down to Green Forest, have the sheep pepper, took our life. Anyway, last time I saw you in attendance.
Take care, sir.
Yeah, we have a tub in our car. This is Mr. Miller's cage, so I left it on his, Yep. I left it on his, holder, so don't take it, please.
These things are brand new. Back to the restaurant. Way worse.
Well, now we start playing for the next one. Yeah. Oh, good. Here you go. Stay down. Thank you for coming. we just roll out the, yeah, we want to get the
Yep.
track?
Yep, we put tables and flies.
I remember you saying playing it, so.
Thank you.
Thank you, it was a great evening.
How about chairs? How about the chairs?
We'll probably stand for now. I can still be one of the cheerleaders tomorrow, but I'll have to ask you how it's going to be working. I don't know.
You just want to lean up against the wall, or do you have those things?
We have the right. Maybe we can end up going, Mr. Sullivan, maybe we can go in the hallway there, or we can.
Yeah, I just in the hallway.
All right.
Yep.
Are you saving the baby cake? We're gonna cut it into fourths. We're gonna cut it into fourths so she can record.
A little bit.
We'll save you a short.
All right.
Man, look at that black couch.
Yeah, they're gonna bring it back. Go up to the back, there you go. Yeah, so I think we can do the same.
Those be stacked.
And then just go up here.
Yes, ma'am. Well, they will. Maybe it's actually, maybe it's going to go on here. Awesome. All right. What do you say, Coach Steve, what do you say about 20 on the right? About 20? So about 20 we get the net, and the rest are going to the cafeteria. Well, I would set 20 over there. Hey, but I don't think it matters. He's got an army, so if you want to put them all back, you can. I think that was our all right, you guys should go to the cafeteria. Kids.
That's a problem.
How was the best?
Toughest part. But the effort is worth it.
How many guys back on this set?
Same way.
Really?
All these chairs.
All done there? Those parts is over here. Emily, is your purse over here? No, it's mine up here. You get my CD. I better just put it up on the counter, okay? It's broken. Okay, I'll help you like that. I just feel comfortable myself, and so wherever I am at, I was broken. These people don't know. They're not supposed to go in. It's already broken. You have to. This was broken, the lights we put it on. You can't sit straight. You just roll. No, yeah. Like my forms are so bad. Like more. What? Like sideways? You know what I'm talking about? I know, like I think of it. They have one of these, and they sit around the edge of it. You've never seen it. You will die. You got it. We just shuffleboard, yes. We're so good. You can decide all. Where are we going? We're going this way. Yeah, gotcha.
I'll go back to these. My stuff, I just put in the accession stand. I'll just do accession stand.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
You guys want to start taking those chairs to the cafeteria? It's all right, everyone all there. Yeah, that's service center. So all the service center stuff is right out there.
Yeah, it's okay. Oh.
I know, that's nice. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, they were.
I think the same is for the last year.
Okay, we're up to read.
We have a tough more thing for these.
I was thinking, Rick's got a classic bag. Small one there, and then.
What are these?
They're coming for the bag. We'll get the bag off first. Oh, is it like our Alumni now? Yeah, Alumni.
No, you can't keep your phone.
Well, 2 places. Yeah, you can't serve off. I would say take places with anywhere we're very impressed.
I'll put these in protection. You got the 2 chairs?
It seems like you kind of cooled down for a little bit.
Hey, Rick, you put my put the scoreboard in the office when you get a chance. It's right there. Okay.
No idea who it is.
Where you want this go?
That can just go on those steps, and that all goes to the service center stuff. You don't know. You work on that, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Now we can see that the way to put it up. Rick, we got those mics also, so we're doing that. Thank you.
Joe, Peter, are we gonna have a closed meeting?
Yes.
Oh, we got it set for reviewers, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, see you guys, thanks everybody.
All right, see ya.
Hey, you see that little beer Swiss thing? Yeah, Swiss, the one, yeah, you see that, this thing was the top part of it. One way or the other.
Oh.
Yeah. I actually get down there and look at it every time, I never remember. It should, you finish, you put all over it, open it up. Yeah. And then it's gonna happen. Should be. Yeah, lights on there. That's it. And these are a little bit different. They're not bad, they're being. Dental. the way I'm filming yet, so.
Yeah.
Don't get your pants hooked on that stage, something up.
Mr. Johnson, do you need to see that?
I think I'm gonna have, I think I might be like, next year. Even if they literally do it. Make sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But like, if I look at, if I was sitting there, if I had the ability to, forethought, I should say, I would not take it. Or somewhere else that I told them. They said, oh, did everybody do their shirts? All right. You guys are awesome. I guess you take some cake. Cut it up and take it. Casey, how many career strikeouts do you have? Avery thinks she's better.
I never said that.
That's what I said.
I don't know.
Thanks, girls. Aren't you leaving still?
I'm still leading.
Rick, I think we're getting ready to head out. Yeah, I got something for you. All right, hopefully it's money. I'm gonna keep that. You guys will turn the lights off. Small Jim. Turn it. I turned it on because it brought my side over. too bad, does it? Look pretty good today. Oh, yeah. Good. For being here, always here, we appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, Casey, maybe come on in the box.